Hey, Tony Guys is here. Now I ain't gonna be before you long. You know you hear that in church all the time. I ain't gonna be before you long, but I'm serious tonight just because I'm a little tired. My son had a game tonight. But listen to me. One of my clients was asking me, she said, Tony, where can successful women or how can successful women better navigate the dating scene? And this is what y'all have to realize. What you have to realize is there are good men out there. There are successful men out there, but it's a lot of noise. It's a whole lot of noise. And we all are human. So the same way you hear noise and you hear all this stuff, so it affects you. So you'll hear, don't go to cheesecake on the first date. You'll hear, never be 50-50 in a relationship financially, or split a percentage or whatever it may be. Some people don't understand that 50-50 doesn't mean you're splitting it down the middle. It means both people are contributing. So if the man make 100,000 and the woman make 40,000, 50-50 doesn't mean that if the rent is 1,500, both pay 750. It means that both are putting something toward the bill. That's what 50-50 mean. But sometimes it's those semantics. Again, that's a prime example. Like a lot of times we don't have an understanding, or we don't have like a mutual understanding of what stuff means. So just that alone makes dating hard, because one person is thinking 50-50 means you split everything down the middle, and the other person is thinking 50-50 means both people contribute. And who's the authority on it? Nobody. Who gets to set the rules? Nobody. So unless you hear the same type of teachings like this and you agree to it, then you could be at odds. And what I want you to understand, successful men and women, and successful is also relative. So some people, they feel successful by having a job. Some people feel successful at 50K a year. Some people feel successful at 100K a year. Some people feel successful when they have a cash saving. Some people feel successful when they have a 401K or what, Roth IRA or IRA. So that's also relative. And the key is that to know that if you're available, then someone else is available. That's the key. And the next key is to realize is you have to get out of the house. So you gotta be out of the house and you gotta be put together. So let me help you understand. It's kind of like a single man. Let's say a single man goes out, and you see how my hair thinning right there, right? My hair thinning, so I get me some hair fiber sprayed on there. If I go out and I got this U right here in my head, and I got that U, imagine that single man going out with that bald U right there. How attractive is he gonna be? He may still look attractive, but it's gonna be a lot of women that just keep walking, because they don't want that man with that U turn in his head. The same thing goes when a woman go out and the lace front is crooked, or the woman go out and she got clumps in her hair. A man will look and he'll just keep walking. And so what the one of the main things that singles not realizing is the first component, and this is what the man who wrote Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus, the first component of a relationship is attraction. So the first issue is everybody is almost put together. Everybody almost put together. And it be that one little thing that in this superficial society, if you don't have an image consultant, if you haven't got a real consultation on your presentation, you're going to be lacking something. And this is becoming the norm in everything in our world, because we are becoming so advanced. So my sons play soccer. If my sons only go to practice and come home, they will never reach the pro level. They won't make it. They have to do extra work. They have to do one-on-one training. if you want the best out of life, you got to sacrifice and you got to do more than other people are doing. So you got to make sure your presentation is right. You got to make sure you are outside of the house almost to the point of nauseum, meaning you cannot go out of the house and be on your phone, be speed walking, have your head down, be mean mugging. It's not going to happen for you. You cannot just go to work and go home. It's not going to happen for you. Somebody was talking about, oh, they ain't got to go out and all this. And it's like, talking about God got them. No, God don't. Because even the Bible say faith without works is dead. Even the Bible say study the ant because she don't sleep, she don't rest. Even the Bible say too much folding of the arms lead to uh, too much slumber and folding of the arms lead to poverty. Even the Bible say if you bury your talent, what you done buried, you finna lose to the person who went and risked theirs, the person who went and put theirs to work. All throughout the Bible, it's about working. It's about being a go-getter. Proverbs 31, it don't say she woke up and she sat down and just knitted all day. Read Proverbs 31. And this is what I try to tell you. You got to get out your feelings and you got to get out the house and you got to get something going. You got to be moving and shaking. And you got to make sure your presentation is together. You got to make sure your mindset is together. You got to, so if you're successful, for one, you should have a life coach. If you can't afford a life coach, you're not successful. If you can't afford a trainer, you're not successful. So success comes first by investing in yourself. That's what you're going to have to be able to do. So in every aspect of life, you're going to have to invest in yourself. And what that means, if you really want to be in a relationship, just like if you really want to go pro, you got to do one-on-one training. If you really want to be in a relationship, you need to be doing dating coaching. But you need to be doing dating coaching, not with somebody who is single and dating, because they in the same problem you in. But somebody who done got married, meaning their dating paid off, meaning they learned the principles and they learned the energy and how to move, and their dating paid off. And that's the lie and the trick of the devil, is people is telling y'all that married people can't tell y'all nothing about dating. And that's the only people that could tell you something about dating that's gonna work, because the married people is the ones who dating work for them. If you still dating, then you don't know what you're talking about, because you still struggling and can't find nobody yourself. So that ought to be common sense. I'm not finna go hire a out of shape trainer, nor am I finna go hire a financial advisor who is swimming in debt and broke, busted, and disgusted. You going to hire somebody who has figured it out and got it together, got it right. And so this is the thing. Put your team together. Just like when you building a company, you put a team together. Just like when you trying to become a pro athlete, you put a team together. You want to win in life, you want to be in a relationship, put your team together. Make sure you working on the 3 B's, brains. That's your life coach, relationship coach, counselor, therapist, whatever it is you need. Brand. That's your business. That's your career that you working in, or the company you starting. And then body. That's your personal trainer or your online trainer, or and then also who you sleeping with, what you doing, where you going. Your brand how you dress, as well as not just your company, but that's how you dress, how you present yourself. All this stuff go together. And then you get out the house and you stay out the house. You keep moving, you keep meeting people. Increase your rate of exposure. Increase, that's my terminology. Anybody use it, they stole it from me. Increase your rate of exposure. So what that means is you getting out, you going to networking events, you are part of clubs, you are part of memberships, you own the live Zoom trainings where people could see your face, you could see their face. You sending DMs in the chat. You could DM who you want to DM. Hey, how you doing? Seeing that you in my area, would love to connect. You making connections, you meeting people. And it could be people of the same sex that you networking with and building with, but that's helping you get out the house. That's teaching you some stuff. You might network with somebody of the same sex and they invite you to this event or to this group or to this thing over here, and or they got a friend of the opposite sex or a family member and they make an introduction for you because you've been moving and shaking and networking. So I'm gonna add 5 more minutes to my time. I was gonna stop at 10, but I need to add 5 more minutes. And so this is the thing. You have to be very, very intentional. And I'll be honest with you. When I talk to singles, it's always one thing. Every single is lacking one thing. It be one simple thing. It be one thing. But the only thing about it is I can't really tell somebody what that thing is because I'm one person. So, and if I tell somebody what that thing is, sometimes the thing could be so trivial. They'll be like, is you serious? That's the one thing? And then sometimes the one thing could be so small or just so basic, but it's so real and direct, it could be hurtful. And so it's kind of hard. So that's why you have to take inventory and say, am I going to the best hairstylist in the city who has 5 stars? If the answer is no, that's your one thing. Am I going to the best nail tech in the city who is 5 stars? If the answer is no, that's your one thing. Do I have the best life coach in the country? If the answer is no, that's your thing. Do I have the best trainer in the city? If the answer is no, that's your thing. Do I have the best financial coach, financial advisor, or whatever it is? And this stuff could be through YouTube. This stuff could be virtual. All this stuff ain't got to be somebody you got on payroll and you paying a check to. But if somebody have videos available, you should be watching them videos to nauseum. You should be throwing up the videos. You watching them so much because you getting knowledge. You getting knowledge. I was just talking to my son. I'm like, son, you could sit on that video game for 8 hours straight. If you study the game that you claim to love for 8 hours straight, you're going to become so knowledgeable about this game that you're going to grow to heights and levels unimaginable. You got to understand that what you give your time to, that's really what you want to do. And so that's the thing. Are you studying? Are you learning? Are you growing? Are you working on yourself? And with the people who have figured it out, are you listening? Don't come and not be able to touch no money and then argue with somebody who could touch money. Don't come and not be able to sniff no behind, meaning not have no spouse, and then be arguing with people with a spouse and happy. Not just having a spouse, but a spouse and happy. Don't come and not be able to do a sit-up or a push-up or a squat until you breaking sweat and your body changing and looking good, and then be arguing with somebody whose body look good and they ain't gonna get no surgery. That's the thing, is you gotta stop knowing it all too. You got to stop knowing it all. And you got to embrace the truth. You got to love the truth. What you gonna notice with my comments, you always gonna see a bunch of people who the truth step on their toes and they is in the comments mad. And that's why they broke, busted, and disgusted. Because here it is, a free video where all they got to do is watch a video and go get them some water and lay their butt down. But they in the comments taking their precious time arguing in the comments with me. When if I'm wrong, let me be wrong. This my channel. I got the right to be wrong on my channel. But there's in the comments arguing like this they channel. Because broke, busted, and disgusted and miserable. And that's how they stay miserable in real life. Because if they got the time to argue with somebody they do not know, who is already financially set, already married and happy, already got successful kids, already living their life and got what they need to have, if they in the comments arguing, taking shots, throwing darts and all of this, it show you broke, busted, disgusted, and then get mad about it. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's a spirit that if you sense that spirit in you, you got to get that spirit out you. Because if you can't get along with a stranger that you do not know, that you owe nothing to, and the stranger owes you nothing, you're not going to be able to get along with somebody you got to look at every single day and smell they behind every single day and live with them every single day. You'll be single for life if you can't hear advice in passing on YouTube and learn how to chew the meat and spit out the bones. I have single people be in the comment. The whole video will be about how to meet people, and they're go on a whole rant about my son playing soccer out the country and how that's wrong. They'll pick something that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. They'll do a whole rant about this wallpaper on the wall. And it's like, that what you got out the video? Okay, that explain everything. You see what I'm saying? You got to come to that place to where you could hear, you could learn, you could grow, and you could chew the meat and spit out the bones. If it's for you, let it be for you. If it ain't for you, don't let it be for you. So this what you got to do. You're going to have to check your presentation. You're going to have to check your mindset, your personality, your attitude. Then you're going to have to increase your rate of exposure. Get out meeting people. And then you're going to have to hear feedback. When you meeting people and they ask you little questions and you take that question as a slight, you got to hear them out, hear what they talking about, hear what they hitting on, and then take that, add that to your game. If you know that was kind of a little bit of feedback, add it to your game, then go on back out there. And I'm going to tell you, you got to do what's hard. You got to do what's hard. It's not going to come easy. You got to do what's hard. That gym is hard. Eating right is hard. Studying is hard. Working hard on your job and your brand and your career, it's hard. You got to do what's hard in order to have a soft life. You cannot have a soft life if you have not done what is extremely hard. And it got to be hard, and it's going to be hard for a while before it gets soft. And I have experienced that. I had to work 80 hours a week for a decade to be able to work 10 hours a week. That is how life works. You put in a bunch of work and then boom, you able to move into that next level. So, hey, this Tony Gaskins. God bless you. I'm finna kick back, read my book, get on the bed. God bless you. We'll talk soon.